Hello everyone, welcome to PS Edu World. Today's topic is response and physical coordination in animals. We'll discuss nervous system. This is part 1 of the lecture. So let's get started. All living organisms are aware of the changes occurring in their external environment, like change in light, temperature, sound, movement, smell. When it comes to the survival of any living organism, it depends on how well they react to stimuli or these changes in their environment. Faster response to these changes means better chances of survival. As communication from one cell to another is slow, a specialized system was required to react to stimuli. This system is known as the nervous system. This could instantly transfer electrical signals from one part of the body to another. So, the system that receives the stimulus transmit it to the other parts of the body, and then the corresponding effect or the response that is shown, this entire thing is known as the nervous system. The nervous system refers to the brain, nerves, spinal cord, ganglia and other receptor organs that receive and interpret these stimuli or these changes. Okay. Stimuli is anything that stimulates the senses of an organism, the sense organs, our eyes, our ears. Okay. And the nervous system performs 3 basic functions. So, from here you can understand that it receives stimuli through sensory neurons from internal and external environment and passes to the brain, where the input stimuli it is processed and then the response is given to the body parts through motor neurons. So, this is the overview of the functions of the nervous system. So, what is a stimulus, or in plural you call it stimuli? Stimulus is something that causes part of the body to react. Any change in an organism's environment that causes the organism to react. For example, getting a drink when you feel thirsty. You feel thirsty, so you drink a glass of water. Then there are 2 types of stimulus or stimuli. Internal stimuli, external stimuli. External stimulus is a stimulus that comes from outside an organism, that is from the environment. You feel cold, so you put on a jacket. An internal stimulus is a stimulus that comes from inside an organism. For example, a lion is tired, so it takes a nap. What is a response? A response is a reaction to something. How the organism reacts to a stimulus and results in a change in behavior. For example, it starts raining, so you take out your umbrella. You are hungry, so you eat some food. So the stimulus is it's raining, and the response, the way you are reacting is that you are taking out an umbrella. The process by which 2 or more organs interact with each other and complement each other, this process is known as coordination. So, at any given time, your body is performing various functions all at once. The coordination is controlled by the human brain, which is the processing unit of the human body. It is also supported by central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Our body exhibits a unique example of division of labor among different cells, tissues, organs and systems. Say during running and exercise, our breathing and heart rate increase. In order to become more active, the muscles will need to produce more energy. They do this by breaking down glucose from your food. But to do this, they need oxygen. Your brain then send signals to the muscles that control breathing so that they contract and relax more often. This causes you to take more breaths. More oxygen will be absorbed from your lungs and carried to the muscles you are using to exercise, mainly your arms, your legs. So during these activities, your muscular system, respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system, they are all working in a coordinated manner. So in this case also, when you step out in bright sunlight, you partly close your eyes to keep out the bright light. You also start sweating when the temperature is very high. So these are the coordinated responses to stimuli. Nervous pathway to respond to stimuli. This indicates that the first event in this sequence is a stimulus, or you can say it stimuli in plural form. Stimulus is something that human sensory receptors like our ear, our eyes, our skin are able to detect, like sound, physical contact, taste, visual sensation. The next stage in this pathway is the sensory receptors sensing the stimulus. These receptors, they are present or located all over the body, but some types of receptors are in specific areas of the body. Like taste receptors in the mouth, we don't have taste receptors in our ear. Then there are sensory neurons that transmit information from these sensory receptors to the central nervous system, that is the brain and the spinal cord. Now this information which is received by the central nervous system, this is further transmitted by the motor neurons to the effector. This effector brings about a response. Effector is generally a muscle or gland. So this finally brings about a response. So like when we are thirsty, when we see a glass of water in front of us, we quickly grab the glass and we start drinking the water. So this is the nervous pathway, how it responds to the stimuli and how it brings about a response. And you know that brain, it is the decision making center. So the brain will decide that yes, you are thirsty and you should drink water. So this is the pathway. So this pathway can be explained by a common example of our response of doorbell. What happens in this case? On hearing the sound of a bell, the receptors which are present in the ear, they pick up the ringing of the doorbell. Then these receptors, they trigger nerve impulses. Now these nerve impulses, they are transmitted to the brain, and the brain then interprets the nerve impulses that the doorbell is ringing, and the brain also decides that the door should be opened. From the brain, these nerve impulses are transmitted to the muscles in our arm or in our hand. The muscles in the arm carry out the response and open the door. The nervous system detects and responds to changes inside and outside the body. Receptors are structures at the end of the nerve fibers that detect changes in the environment, like I have said, the stimuli, and turn them into electrical impulses. These receptors, they may be specialized sense organs like ear, eye, skin. Now there are sensory neurons that carry electrical signals or impulses from these receptors or sense organs to the central nervous system. And the central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. Now there are motor neurons that carry impulses from the central nervous system to the effector organs. Effectors are muscles or glands which work in response to the stimulus received from the motor neurons. So, between the receptors and effectors are the conducting cells of the nervous system termed as neurons. These are the basic structural and functional unit of the nervous system, and they are spread throughout the body of an organism. They form a complex communication network and they communicate through an electrochemical process. Both nervous system and endocrine systems are the basic systems that regulate the biological processes inside an organism, but through different means of passing signals. The basic differences between them regarding mode of action is: in nervous system, electrical impulses are the messengers in the nervous system. In endocrine system, hormones are the chemical messengers in the endocrine system that target cells through the bloodstream. Nerve impulses are transmitted through neurons, while hormones are transmitted through blood vessels. Brain, spinal cord, these constitute the nervous system. Glands and organs like thyroid, pituitary glands, reproductive organs like ovaries, testes are involved in the endocrine system. Then nervous system is under voluntary and involuntary control, but endocrine system is under involuntary control. These responses in case of nervous system are localized. That is, the neurotransmitters act locally and not carried far away through blood. But in case of hormones, the hormones are carried by blood and they usually act on various tissues remote from the place of their origin. So the responses are widespread. So the lecture ends here. Hope you have liked the video. Stay tuned as we will be uploading part 2 of this lecture. Till then, take care. Bye bye.